I didn't believe it at first either. Growing hydroponic lettuce without any power? No pumps, no bubblers, no air stones buzzing 24/7? I thought it had to be one of those YouTube gimmicks that looks good in the thumbnail but just falls apart in real life. But after a hot summer week with blackouts and dying plants in my powered setup, I gave this passive system a try. And within just 3 weeks, I was harvesting the freshest, crunchiest lettuce I'd ever grown. No electricity, no stress. The Kratky method changed everything. Have you ever tried growing hydroponically without electricity? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what worked for you and what didn't. Now let's dig into exactly how this lazy but shockingly effective method works, and how you can set it up in your own home or garden. At its core, the Kratky method is hydroponics in its simplest form. No pumps, no timers, no moving parts. It was developed by Dr. B.A. Kratky, a horticulture researcher in Hawaii who wanted to create a system that was as low maintenance as possible. His breakthrough idea was to let the plant create its own oxygen access by slowly depleting the nutrient solution as it grows. Here's what happens. When you plant your seedling in a net cup suspended above a reservoir of nutrient-rich water, the roots immediately reach into the solution. As the plant consumes nutrients and water, the solution level drops. This naturally exposes the upper portion of the roots to air, creating a perfect balance between moisture, nutrition, and oxygen. The plant doesn't drown because it adjusts itself by growing long air roots up top and feeder roots below. And best of all, the setup is completely passive. You're not just avoiding power bills or saving on gear, you're tapping into a more natural, stress-free rhythm of growth that works with the plant, not against it. When I tested this for the first time, I used a 10-liter plastic food-grade container with a tight-fitting lid. I cut a hole in the top just large enough for a standard 2-inch net cup. Inside the container, I mixed clean water with a basic liquid hydroponic nutrient, one designed for leafy greens. I filled it just to the base of the net cup so the roots could touch the water but not get fully submerged. I placed this setup in a shaded but bright area on my balcony. No timers, no wires, no tinkering. I just planted the lettuce seedling, closed the lid, and walked away. By the third day, I could already see the roots stretching downward. By the end of the first week, the water level had dropped visibly, and the roots had split, some still in the nutrient water, others forming an airy white mat above it. That's the magic zone where oxygen meets hydration. By day 21, the lettuce was full-sized and just about ready to harvest. There was no algae, no root rot, really, no drama at all. Even though the Kratky method is pretty laid back, there are a few crucial elements you really need to get right. First, you need a container that blocks light. Translucent bins or clear glass can actually encourage algae, which competes with your plant for nutrients and oxygen. So you'll want to use opaque plastic, or you can paint your container, or even just wrap it in foil or dark fabric to keep the light out. Second, your nutrient mix should be well balanced and, tailored for greens like lettuce or spinach. I used a basic NPK mix that's high in nitrogen and it worked perfectly. Just be careful not to over-concentrate your solution. Too strong and you'll burn the roots. Too weak and, well, the plant might stall halfway through. Third, your water level should start just at the base of the net cup. As the level drops, try to resist the urge to refill unless it's absolutely necessary. That air gap is actually essential. If you top it up and flood the roots again, you might suffocate them and cause rot. Most importantly, keep an eye on your temperature. Kratky works best in mild to warm conditions, not scorching. If your reservoir overheats, root health can go downhill pretty quickly. On hotter days, I actually moved my setup to a shadier spot and even added a reflective shield around the base to keep things cool. The Kratky method isn't just a backup plan for blackouts or, power-conscious gardeners. It's actually a highly efficient, low-waste system that brings out the best in fast-growing crops like lettuce, basil, arugula, or even bok choy. Because it doesn't rely on constant water movement, it's also virtually silent, making it perfect for balconies, apartments, or indoor spaces where you don't want the hum of machines. I've since added 5 more Kratky tubs to my setup, some on shelves, some tucked beneath my raised beds. They grow side by side with my soil-based crops, but they use far less water and zero electricity. The yields are consistently impressive, and the simplicity means anyone can start, even if they've never grown hydroponically before. It's also a perfect entry point for teaching kids or beginners about plant growth. There's really nothing intimidating about it, just clean water, nutrients, a seedling, and time. If you've been curious about hydroponics but, overwhelmed by pumps, pH meters, or complicated setups, try Kratky. You don't need to spend a fortune or build an entire system. Start with one container and one plant, and just watch how fast it grows. If this guide helped you see hydroponics in a whole new light, make sure to subscribe to Hydro Haven for more no-hype, field-tested gardening methods that work in real backyards. Share this video with a friend who's maybe stuck on the fence about trying hydro, and bookmark it to come back when you're ready to start your own lazy, lush lettuce patch with zero electricity and 100% satisfaction.